It doesn't start with a fall, not with a sharp pain, not even with stiffness or swelling. It starts with a morning like any other. The sunlight filters gently through the curtains. The smell of coffee drifts in from the kitchen. You sit up slowly in bed, stretch your arms, roll your shoulders. Nothing unusual. Then you swing your legs over the side and pause. Not because something hurts, not because you feel dizzy, but because your legs don't respond the way they used to. They feel heavy, not sore, just unwilling, like they've forgotten how to move with confidence. You press your palms against your knees to help yourself stand. And that right there, that tiny moment, is the first whisper. The first clue that something inside your body is beginning to shift. Maybe you brush it off. Just tired today. Maybe I slept funny. It's probably the weather. But over the next few days or weeks, little signs begin to appear. You grip the stair railing tighter. You hesitate before stepping off the curb. You avoid bending down to tie your shoes because it's too much trouble to get back up. No pain, no drama, just a quiet change in how your body moves through the world. And the scariest part, you might not even realize it's happening until one day you go to stand from a chair and feel like you're pushing against gravity itself. That's how it begins for millions of older adults. Not with pain, not with a diagnosis, but with a subtle loss of strength that creeps in like fog. And by the time many people notice, they've already lost 10% or more of their muscle mass, especially in their legs. Let me tell you something most doctors don't say out loud. Weak legs are not a normal part of aging. They're a sign, a signal, a warning that your body is missing something essential. Because after age 60, our bodies don't just slow down randomly. They slow down because vital systems lose their fuel, because nutrient absorption drops, because key vitamins start running low and no one tells you that. And that's why what you're feeling might not be just age. It might be something you can change. So if you've noticed that walking across the room takes more effort than it used to, if standing feels like a workout, if stairs make you stop and catch your breath, you're not alone and you're not powerless. Because today we're going to talk about something simple, science-backed, and surprisingly effective. 3 overlooked vitamins that can help you regain strength, reduce fatigue, and feel steadier on your feet in just days. No extreme workouts, no expensive therapy, just targeted nutrition at the right time. And it all starts with understanding what's really going on beneath the surface. You might think it's just aging, that it's normal for your legs to get weaker as the candles on your birthday cake increase. But let me ask you this. When did normal start to mean losing the power to walk across a room without resting? The truth is, what you're feeling is far more specific and more preventable than just getting older. It has a name: sarcopenia. It sounds complex, but it simply means age-related muscle loss. And for millions of older adults, it begins long before you see it coming. No pain, no swelling, no bruises. Just one day, you need to use your hands to push off the chair. A week later, you feel a bit winded climbing the stairs. Then your legs begin to ache after a simple grocery trip, and you wonder, when did this get so hard? According to the American Geriatric Society, seniors lose up to 3% of their muscle mass every single year, even if they eat normally and stay relatively active. Let that sink in. That means in just 5 years, you could lose up to 15% of your strength and not even realize it, until it's already changed how you move, how you walk, how you live. And here's the silent truth: your legs are the first to go. Why? Because they carry the most weight. They're responsible for balance, posture, walking, climbing, standing, sitting. They are your foundation. But as we age, the body begins to quietly lose the nutrients and signals it needs to keep those leg muscles alive and strong. And that loss doesn't happen overnight. It starts with something so small, so easy to ignore, like taking longer to stand, or needing to hold onto the wall as you turn a corner. Most people never talk about this because they assume it's just part of aging. But what if I told you that there are 3 main reasons this happens? And more importantly, that each one has a clear solution. Let's break them down. 1. Nutrient deficiency. As we grow older, our stomach produces less acid, and our gut becomes less efficient at absorbing vitamins from food. It's not your fault. It's biology. Even if you eat well, your body may still be starving on the inside, especially for 3 key nutrients that fuel nerve function, muscle repair, and energy conversion. We'll talk about them in a moment, but first, 2. Poor circulation. Blood flow delivers oxygen and nutrients to your muscles. But slower circulation means your legs aren't getting what they need to function. The result: heavy legs, early fatigue, night cramps, slow recovery. If your legs feel like they tire easily, or you get that burning cramping feeling after walking a short distance, circulation might be the hidden culprit. 3. Muscle disuse. It's a cruel cycle. The weaker your legs feel, the less you want to move. And the less you move, the faster your muscles shrink. Even if you stay active without the right nutrients, your muscles can't rebuild themselves after use. So despite your effort, you don't get stronger, you just get more tired. But here's the turning point. All of these problems have one thing in common. They're connected to deficiencies in just a few essential vitamins. When you restore those, you give your legs the tools to rebuild, to regain power, to move with confidence again. And the best part, you don't need a personal trainer. You don't need a prescription. You just need to know what your body's been missing and how to give it back. Let's start with the first and most powerful of the 3. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you stepped outside and just stood in the sun, arms open, eyes closed, letting it warm your skin? For most people over 60, that kind of moment has quietly faded. We spend more time indoors. Our skin grows thinner. Our livers and kidneys don't convert nutrients the way they used to. And that creates a silent domino effect inside your body. It shuts down the production of one of the most powerful switches for your muscles. That switch is vitamin D3. Most people think of vitamin D as something for bones, and yes, it helps your body absorb calcium. But that's only the beginning. Vitamin D3 controls your balance, your coordination, your muscle strength, and your ability to move without pain. Without enough of it, your body slows down in strange ways. Your legs grow heavy, your reflexes dull, and your ability to stand, turn, or walk becomes hesitant, like your body's signals are getting lost somewhere along the way. And here's what many seniors never hear. After 60, your ability to make and process vitamin D3 drops drastically. You can eat right, stay active, even take a multivitamin and still be deficient. Why? Because D3 is fat-soluble. It needs sunlight-healthy fats and proper liver-kidney function to be activated, and all 3 of those become compromised with age. So while your body may technically be getting some D, it might not be using any of it. How do you know if you're low on D3? Here are some signs that most people overlook. Your legs feel tired after standing. You get cramps in your calves at night. Going upstairs takes effort. You lose your balance more easily. You feel weak without knowing why. You sleep poorly. You feel a little anxious or moody for no reason. Sound familiar? These are not just aging. These are early symptoms of a D3 deficiency. Now, here's the good news. When you give your body the right amount of vitamin D3, the change can be felt in just a few days. In a clinical study at the University of Birmingham, seniors over 65 were given just 800 IU of vitamin D3 daily. Within 5 days, their leg strength improved by nearly 20%. Another study from China showed that seniors who took D3 and did light walking had significant improvements in balance strength and fall prevention in just weeks. At Harvard's Geriatric Research Center, researchers found that older adults with low vitamin D3 were 40% more likely to fall and be hospitalized than those with healthy levels. That's not hype, that's hard data. So how much should you take? Experts recommend 800 to 1,000 IU per day for healthy adults over 60, 1,500 to 2,000 IU per day for those with signs of weakness or a history of falling. But here's the key timing and absorption matter. Vitamin D3 should always be taken in the morning right after a meal with healthy fat, like eggs, avocado, or salmon. Never take it on an empty stomach. Never take it right before bed. It may interfere with your sleep. And can food give you enough? Unfortunately, no. To get 1,000 IU of D3 from food alone, you'd have to eat 3 servings of fatty fish, 3 to 4 eggs, several cups of fortified milk every single day. Most seniors just can't keep up with that consistently. That's why a supplement is often essential. But don't overdo it. Vitamin D3 is safe, but in large doses over long periods, it can cause problems. Nausea, constipation, kidney stones, even irregular heartbeat in sensitive people. Stay within recommended limits. Talk to your doctor and make sure your supplement is vitamin D3, not D2, because that's the active form your body needs. When your D3 levels are restored, something beautiful happens. Your bones feel stronger, your movements feel smoother, your balance returns, and those heavy, hesitant legs, they remember how to carry you again with power. Sometimes it's not your muscles that give out first. It's the message that tells them what to do. You might feel it as a strange delay. Your brain says, move, but your foot takes just a moment too long to respond. You try to turn quickly, but your legs hesitate. You feel a little off balance, like the floor is shifting beneath you, even though you know it's not. And the worst part, you can't explain it. You're not in pain. You're not dizzy, but something feels disconnected, like your body isn't quite listening the way it used to. That feeling, frustrating, subtle, and all too common after 60, is often the result of a silent B12 deficiency. Vitamin B12 is often called the memory vitamin. And yes, it plays a big role in brain function, energy, and mental clarity. But what most people don't realize is that B12 is essential for the communication between your brain and your legs. It helps build and protect the myelin sheath, a kind of insulation that wraps around your nerves, allowing them to send signals fast, clean, and accurately. Without enough B12, those signals slow down. They fizzle. They get lost, and suddenly your body starts to feel like it's not yours. So how do you know if you're running low? It's not just forgetfulness. It's not just fatigue. Here are some common symptoms of B12 deficiency, especially in older adults. Numbness or tingling in the feet. A buzzing or a crawling feeling in the legs. Legs that feel asleep or disconnected. Unsteady walking, even on flat ground, needing to hold onto furniture when moving around, muscle weakness, especially in the thighs, feeling lightheaded, moody, or foggy. These signs are often misdiagnosed as aging or even anxiety, but they are actually classic neurological red flags, your body's way of saying, I'm not getting the fuel I need to stay connected. So why does this happen more often after 60? There are 2 main reasons. 1, poor absorption. As we age, our stomachs produce less acid, especially if you take medications like omeprazole or ranitidine to manage acid reflux. Less acid means less B12 extracted from food. 2, limited intake. B12 is found almost exclusively in animal products, meat, fish, eggs, and dairy. So if you eat less meat, avoid dairy, or follow a plant-heavy diet, you may not be getting enough. And even if you do eat these foods, your body might still not absorb B12 well. That's why B12 deficiency is incredibly common in people over 60, even those who think they're eating well. What does the science say? A study from Oxford University followed seniors over 65 and found something shocking. Those with low B12 levels walked slower, had worse balance, and were more than twice as likely to fall within a year. Another clinical trial published in the Journal of Gerontology gave seniors 1,000 micrograms of B12 daily. After just 8 weeks, participants had stronger legs, better balance, reduced numbness, faster reflexes, and greater confidence when walking. So how do you supplement safely and effectively? Experts recommend 500 to 1,000 micrograms mcg of methylcobalamin daily for adults over 60. Methylcobalamin is the active form of B12 ready to be used immediately by your body without conversion. And it comes in senior-friendly forms: dissolvable tablets, sublingual drops, sprays, chewables. The best time to take it, morning or lunch, never with tea or coffee, both of which can interfere with absorption. Is food enough? In theory, yes. In reality, not likely. To get 500 mcg of B12 from diet alone, you'd need to eat 3 ounces of beef liver, or 6 eggs, or 4 servings of salmon every day. That's not realistic for most seniors. That's why supplementation is often necessary, especially if you feel off balance, forgetful, or disconnected from your body. Is it safe? Yes. B12 is water-soluble, which means your body flushes out what it doesn't need. There is no known toxic level in healthy individuals. But if you take blood thinners, have kidney problems, or other chronic conditions, always speak to your doctor first. Because here's what happens when B12 is restored. Your feet feel more grounded, your steps feel more stable, your reflexes sharpen, and the disconnection fades. You feel more present inside your own body, and the fear of falling, of not trusting your own legs, that begins to disappear. You wake up, eat breakfast, maybe stretch a little, and yet, just walking across the room feels like you ran a mile. Your legs aren't in pain, but they're heavy, slow, drained. You didn't do anything exhausting, but somehow it feels like you did. If you've felt that kind of unexplained fatigue, especially in your lower body, it may not be about muscle strength. It may be about fuel. Because muscles don't just need protein, they need energy, real usable energy that keeps them moving, firing, recovering. And that's exactly what vitamin B1, also known as thiamine, provides. Think of your body like a car. If vitamin D3 is the ignition switch, and B12 is the wiring between your brain and wheels, then vitamin B1 is the gasoline. Without it, even a strong, well-built engine will stall. It won't move, not because it can't, but because it has nothing to run on. That's what happens to your legs when you're low on thiamine. They don't hurt, they just give out. Vitamin B1 plays a crucial role in converting food, especially carbohydrates, into ATP, your body's main energy molecule. Every breath, every step, every time you rise from a chair. ATP is the spark behind that movement. And because your legs are the largest muscles in your body, they demand a massive amount of ATP to function. When thiamine runs low, ATP runs low. And when ATP runs low, your legs feel like sandbags. Your steps drag. Your energy fades. Your motivation disappears. And worse, your muscles don't recover like they used to even after light activity. What are the warning signs of low B1? They're easy to miss because they don't always show up as illness. Instead, they look like this: leg fatigue after light walking, shortness of breath going upstairs, muscle cramps especially in your feet or calves, a heavy or dragging feeling in your thighs, lightheadedness or dizziness after standing, reduced appetite or energy, brain fog, or a lack of motivation to move. And like with D3 and B12, these symptoms are often brushed off as getting older. But in many cases, your body is simply running on empty. Why does B1 deficiency happen more in older adults? There are several culprits. 1. Reduced absorption with age. Your digestive tract becomes less efficient at absorbing thiamine from food after 60. 2. Medication use. Diuretics for heart or blood pressure. Antibiotics and even metformin used for diabetes all flush out B1 through urine, leaving you depleted without even knowing it. 3. Alcohol consumption. Even modest wine or beer intake interferes with thiamine absorption. 4. Processed foods. Many seniors eat less whole grains or legumes, the best natural sources of B1, and unfortunately, heavily processed foods are stripped of this essential vitamin. What does the science say? A 2021 study from Tokyo University found that over 30% of adults over 65 had insufficient thiamine levels. Those participants reported slower walking speed, higher fatigue, and poorer muscle endurance. After receiving daily B1 supplementation, most showed improvements in energy, leg strength, stair climbing, and overall walking distance within just 1 week. Another study published in Neurological Sciences Journal gave older adults with chronic leg fatigue 100 milliliters of B1 daily. Results: 82% reported better endurance within 7 days. 68% experienced less heaviness and pain in their legs. So how much B1 do you need? The standard recommendation is low, just 1.1 milligrams a day for women, 1.2 milligrams a day for men. But for therapeutic effect in older adults showing signs of deficiency, doctors often recommend 50 to 100 milligrams a day for several weeks. It's water-soluble, so excess is flushed safely through urine. But always check with your healthcare provider before using high doses long-term, especially if you have liver or kidney conditions. What's the best time to take it? In the morning with your first meal of the day, and always with food that contains some fat or protein. This helps with absorption. Avoid taking it with coffee, black tea, or alcohol, which may interfere with uptake. Can food give you enough? Yes, if you're intentional. Best sources of thiamine include whole grains, brown rice, oats, legumes, lentils, black beans, sunflower seeds, pork, and organ meats. But let's be honest, most older adults don't eat enough of these every day. That's why a gentle supplement can help restore energy fast, especially if you've been feeling drained without explanation. Because when B1 is restored, you don't just move better, you want to move. Your legs feel lighter, stairs feel manageable. The fog lifts and energy returns not in a jolt, but in a quiet, steady hum that carries you through the day. You begin to feel like yourself again, and sometimes that's all it takes to start moving forward. Now that you know what each of these vitamins does on its own, let's talk about how to use them together. Because here's the secret: timing matters, combination matters, and doing it right can make the difference between slow progress and real results you feel within days. Your body is like a well-tuned engine. Give it the right nutrients at the right time, and everything starts to hum again. Stronger muscles, better balance, and confidence with every step. Let's break it down. Step 1. Start your morning with strength. Begin your day with a balanced breakfast, something with healthy fats and protein. Think: a boiled egg, a slice of avocado toast, a cup of Greek yogurt, or a small bowl of oatmeal with almond butter. With that breakfast, take your first 2 vitamins. 1. Vitamin D3, 800 to 2000 IU. 2. Vitamin B1, thiamine, 50 to 100 milligram. Why morning? Vitamin D3 is fat-soluble, so it needs fat to be absorbed. And since it supports muscle activation and nerve function, taking it earlier in the day helps your body move better throughout the day. Vitamin B1, on the other hand, is your energy spark. It fuels your ATP production, which drives your muscles. Taking it early means you'll have more stamina and sharper focus from the moment you step out the door. Important tip: avoid taking these with black coffee or tea. Both can interfere with absorption. Stick with water milk or a low-acid juice like pear or apple. Step 2. Reconnect mind and motion at midday. Around lunchtime, take your vitamin B12, 500 to 1,000 mcg of methylcobalamin. This is when your body's natural alertness is still high and your stomach acid levels are better than in the evening. B12 works best when it has time to support your nervous system throughout the day, especially if you're doing light walking or staying active in the afternoon. You can take it with a lunch of grilled fish or chicken, steamed vegetables with olive oil, or a protein shake if you prefer something simple. Remember, B12 should never be taken too late in the day, as it may interfere with your ability to fall asleep. Step 3. Read labels carefully and don't rely on multivitamins alone. You might already be taking a multivitamin. That's great, but here's the problem. Most generic senior multivitamins contain very low doses of the vitamins that actually matter for muscle strength. For example, some have only 200 IU of D3, far below therapeutic range, or just 1.5 milligallons of B1, not nearly enough to combat deficiency, or a weak form of B12 that your body struggles to absorb. So always check your label. Make sure you're getting the right forms and right amounts. Vitamin D3 cholecalciferol, vitamin B1 as thiamine, HCl or mononitrate, vitamin B12 as methylcobalamin. And if your multivitamin doesn't deliver what you need, supplement it with targeted doses, just like we've discussed here. Bonus, keep it simple with a daily routine. Here's a sample routine to follow. Breakfast: 1 boiled egg plus half avocado toast, 1 capsule, D3 plus 1 tablet. B1, water or milk to wash it down. Lunch: grilled chicken plus steamed spinach, 1 lozenge or tablet of B12. Light walking afterward to activate absorption. Evening: no new supplements. Just hydrate, stretch, and rest. Let the nutrients work as your body recovers during sleep. Caution: more is not better. When it comes to vitamins, the right dose is powerful, but more doesn't mean faster results. In fact, too much D3 over time can lead to headaches, nausea, kidney stones, calcium buildup in the arteries. B12 and B1 are water-soluble and generally safe, but if you have kidney disease, liver issues, or are on multiple medications, always talk to your doctor before beginning any new supplement routine. And no matter what, don't skip blood tests. Checking your nutrient levels every 6 to 12 months is one of the best ways to prevent silent deficiencies before they steal your strength. Because when these 3 vitamins work together, something powerful happens. Your nerves reconnect, your energy returns, your legs respond, your steps feel sure again. It's not magic, it's not luck. It's what happens when you feed your body what it's been missing and give it a reason to move again. Let's take a pause here, because while the right vitamins can rebuild your legs, restore your balance, and reignite your confidence, there's one more thing just as important: knowing how to use them safely. You see, vitamins are powerful tools, but like any tool, they only work if you use them the right way, at the right time, in the right dose. And unfortunately, most seniors are never told what to watch out for. So, let's walk through the most common mistakes people over 60 make with vitamins and how to avoid them starting today. Mistake number 1, thinking more means better. It's easy to assume that if a little helps a lot, must help more. But that's not how your body works, especially as you age. Take vitamin D3, for example. It's fat-soluble, which means your body stores the excess in your tissues. Too much D3 over time can lead to high calcium levels, nausea, constipation, kidney stones. even irregular heartbeat. That's why experts recommend staying under 4,000 IU/day unless directed by a physician. More is not better. Better is better. Mistake number 2. Taking vitamins at the wrong time. Timing can make or break your results. Taking D3 without fat. Your body won't absorb it. Taking B12 too late in the day. It might keep you awake. Taking B1 without food, you might feel jittery or upset your stomach. Taking any vitamin with coffee or black tea, you might block absorption entirely. The fix? Simple. D3 and B1 with breakfast, B12 with lunch, all with water, not tea or coffee. Your body is more than willing to receive what you give it. You just have to offer it at the right time. Mistake number 3. Ignoring interactions with medications. This one's important. As we age, most of us take medications whether for blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, or pain. Some of those drugs can interact with vitamins in subtle but meaningful ways. For example, antacids like omeprazole or ranitidine reduce stomach acid, making it harder to absorb B12. Diuretics. Water pills increase the excretion of B1, leading to hidden fatigue. Blood thinners can be affected by excess calcium if D3 raises your levels too high. Does that mean you can't take vitamins? Not at all. It just means talk to your doctor. Bring your supplement bottles to your next appointment. Ask your pharmacist if there are any known interactions with your prescriptions. You deserve clarity, not guesswork. Mistake number 4. Never testing your blood levels. Would you drive a car without checking the gas tank? Then why take vitamins blindly without knowing what your body actually needs? Every 6 to 12 months, ask your doctor to check. Vitamin D levels 25 hydroxy. D test. Vitamin B12 levels. General blood work for liver and kidney function. It's quick, it's affordable, and it gives you peace of mind knowing whether to adjust, reduce, or stay the course. Because sometimes you don't need more. You just need the right amount at the right time. Mistake number 5. Forgetting that food still matters. Yes, supplements help. Yes, they can restore deficiencies quickly, but they don't replace whole foods. You still need protein to rebuild muscles, healthy fats to absorb nutrients, whole grains and legumes for lasting energy, hydration to support circulation and recovery. Think of vitamins as the bridge, not the full foundation. Simple rules to remember. Don't megadose. Don't skip meals and take pills. Don't rely on cheap multivitamins. Don't assume your old routine still works. Instead, check labels. Space out your doses. Pair vitamins with the right meals. Talk to your healthcare provider before starting or stopping anything. Because when used wisely, these 3 simple vitamins can restore your legs, your strength, and your sense of control. But when misused, they can confuse your system, waste your money, or delay your recovery. And that's something we can and should avoid together. Let's take a moment, not to look back in regret, but to look forward with understanding. Because if you've been feeling off balance, if your legs have been slower, heavier, or just unfamiliar, it's not your fault. It's not weakness, it's not failure, and it's certainly not the end. It's simply a signal. A quiet call from your body asking for what it needs, asking to be seen, asking to be heard. And now you know how to listen. You've learned how strength doesn't just disappear. It fades when it's unfed. It retreats when the tools for repair are missing. But here's the miracle: it can come back. Strength isn't gone. It's simply waiting. Waiting for the right fuel, waiting for the right support, waiting for you to say, "I'm ready." And now you are. Because the 3 vitamins we've explored, D3, B12, and B1, they don't just rebuild tissue. They rebuild trust between your brain and your body, between your will and your movement, between who you are now and who you still want to be. And make no mistake, you are still becoming. Think about what this really means. It means you can rise from a chair without using your arms. It means stairs don't have to feel like Everest. It means walking feels like freedom, again, not fear. It means playing with your grandchildren isn't exhausting, it's exhilarating. It means dancing in the kitchen, walking in the park, climbing the steps of your porch without hesitation. Not because you're chasing youth, but because you're choosing vitality on your terms. So, where do you go from here? You start small. You check your supplement labels. You add those vitamins to your morning routine. You pay attention to how you feel honestly. You give yourself the grace to grow stronger gently, day by day. And most importantly, you don't wait for things to get worse before you take action. Because strength isn't just about muscle, it's about momentum. And every choice you make from this point forward, that's momentum in your favor. We created Senior Fit for people like you. People who want answers without fear, support without shame, and guidance rooted in science, compassion, and truth. So, if this video spoke to you, if you saw yourself in these words, if you felt hope where there used to be uncertainty, then please stay with us. Subscribe to Senior Fit, where growing older doesn't mean growing smaller. It means growing wiser, stronger, and still moving forward. Let today be the day you stop doubting your legs. Let today be the day you stop whispering maybe and start saying yes. Yes to strength. Yes to motion. Yes to more good years on your feet with your head high and your steps steady. You're not just rebuilding your legs, you're reclaiming your life. One step at a time,